Mr. Chairman.
So at this time, let me open the floor for nomination for the chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to place in the nomination as chairman Miles Gregory. As when we go down the list, I don't know if that's permissible for the council.
Yeah.
Okay, as vice chairman, Mr. Gary Smith. Gary, you're our current vice chairman, correct? And as treasurer, Fireball Heathcock.
That secretary treasurer.
Yes, yes.
Secretary and Treasurer.
Yes, Pete Heathcock. And I would just like to say, I think we've got a great board, we've done good work, and I appreciate the leadership that we've had, and the way we've all been able to get along. And I think that's due to us all having the same goal and vision with our board, and I think, Mr. Chairman, you and the officers have done a good job with that. So,
Appreciate it.
I'll second that motion.
I'm giving, can I second it?
Okay, first of all, is
You can say it.
there any other
You
nominations?
want to second your own
No, that's right.
Is there any other nominations? Any motion nominations, please? Pete makes a motion nomination,
Well,
please.
okay.
Second that.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay.
Gary third that.
There's no other nominations, so there's no competition, Pete, for us, so we.
You do an excellent job. Just put it on the record, all in favor of that
All in
motion.
favor, yeah.
You raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay. Excellent.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure for me to work with this board, and I hate to say that if we had a different board, I don't know whether I'd be willing to accept it or not, as chairman, but you've been gracious to work with, and I appreciate your willingness to help. Anything we ask you to do, you're willing to do it, and I appreciate that very much as your chairman, and we'll take it for another couple of years, and hope our help holds out, and we can make more progress, and we just keep on keeping on. So thanks again for your confidence, and we'll keep on working.
We can get the option back out.
Okay, we got to agenda item number 5, adoption of fiscal year's budget 2017, 2018. Pete, you want to address that? That particular agenda item?
Do you need this page?
Yes. Proposal that we came out with is 60,700, so that's what we approved in the county. When is their final vote? Have they had their final vote?
They passed it. They passed the budget, so
It's
you
already
need
done
that.
deal.
So you own it.
I've been out of town.
So the county's passed it, and we had the public hearing and all, so it would, just be a matter of motion to adopt the budget as presented.
Okay.
I'll present this thing, and you can sign off on it.
Okay.
Give a motion.
So, Councilman, you need a motion for it to be adopted?
I'll make a motion. And there's a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay. The motion has been adopted and the budget approved for 2017, 2018. And Pete, you've done a good job on working on this budget. We appreciate the work you've done on that.
I think it's gonna help us next year when we
Yeah,
start
it's going-
to do some
yeah.
improvements out here.
It's better than what we
Buildings,
had last year.
hangars. On the ground works. That's good.
Jimmy, thanks for being here again today.
Yes, sir.
And appreciate what you've been doing on behalf of the Airport Authority, and we'll give you the floor, so bring us up to date on where we're at on our
Okay. Thank you.
taxiway project. If you will, please, sir.
On the taxiway project, phase one is active. It's not 100% complete. We still got a little buttoning up stuff to do on the electrical side. They're working in the phase two area now. We'll have a progress meeting tomorrow. See what kind of outstanding items we got. I understand the electrical contractor is going to be off the rest of this week, but plans to work all next week. So we got to get that coordinated, make sure things are going around there. Didn't run into any major hiccups that I'm aware of on getting things accomplished. Contractors moving along at a good pace. The weather.
How about the electrical?
Pardon me?
How about the electrical part of it?
It's up to speed. We got a few lights we got to tweak, but all the lights are in. Still got to do some helipad light work and some vault cable work right here next to the apron for this phase. But everything's energized and the lights are operational. So that's pretty much all I've got on the taxiway project. I have not heard anything back on the AWAS question, the Jimmy Caps, and I was going to defer that to Pete to see, since he sent the email. Have you heard anything back on the AWAS?
I have,
I think,
there were two gentlemen here earlier today. They fixed the radio transmitter for the AWAS, and the gentleman said that they had a temporary contract for this year with the state to maintain the AWAS.
Okay, good.
it's
Right
working.
now, everything is functioning.
Today,
Fantastic.
so everything's working.
Great.
Yeah, I checked,
Press release.
yeah, I checked it at 15 miles out today, and it was working at 15 miles.
Okay, good.
Good.
What did they say about the power supply that the contractors cut and put it back together? Did your engineer observe them do that?
Yeah.
So it's,
The inspector was there when, the inspector was there when they fixed it back. They put it back in conduit and put it in wet sleeves.
you know, it went out again after the one. We didn't know why it went out. We thought maybe it was, that's good. Everything's
That
working
was
now.
strictly the power, had nothing to do with the radio.
Right.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
The-
Yeah, we got his name, phone number, the guy
I
that's
have
in
it
charge.
up front.
Huh?
I have it up front. He signed the log.
Good, thank you. You may need to call him. Hope you don't. If we do.
At least now we know that DOA's got a 1-year contract with some vendor. I don't know who that vendor is. That's good. They took care of that.
Good deal.
For the ALP update, I've mentioned this before, that the data that the surveyor completed on the aerial photogrammetry and mapping has to be uploaded to the FAA and Geodetic Survey website. The airport needs to create an account to do that. We would like for you folks to allow Teresa to be our liaison to make that happen between my planners and her.
She don't mind doing it.
I talked to him today, he doesn't like it, and he sent me the link and all, it doesn't seem that it's gonna be too bad.
We'll walk her through. What has to happen is, we as a consultant can't be the placeholder for that account. It has to be the airport authority, but you'll be able to give us permission to access it. So once you give us that permission, we'll turn that over to our sub, and then just gonna upload all the map data that they have that FAA requires for the ALP update.
So what do you need from this board? You need permission to?
I guess just permission to understand
Correct.
Teresa's gonna be our liaison to make that.
Somebody want to make that motion? We approve.
Not really, as long as everybody understands, and, yeah, it's got to be by general consent.
Followed back up with Jared Penny today. You know, he sent you and I an email
Right.
wanting some flood study information. I've looked in our archives. I did run across something, but I don't know if that's what he's looking for. So I asked him today if he could give me a little more detail, and I'll provide whatever.
It's kind of
report
general,
that
the
was-
request he made was very general, so, yeah.
Apparently it's tied
Any
to some
damn drainage.
grant that had some type of flood mapping study.
The county might have something in the mapping department, I don't know.
I think it's something that we did when Eric was here, because it has to do with some reimbursement, and Jared said it had been invoiced for survey and a study, but he didn't have a copy of the study, and I'm trying to put my hands on the study. It's in the archives wherever, so
I
I looked up some
will.
stuff today.
Was that for the free camper?
It was for, he called it flood mapping, and I didn't know. I ran across something, there was a stream mitigation for the Itola stream, some monitoring that was done.
Anybody ordering cars? Yeah.
16 of them.
I love that little white one on the
Yeah.
back.
Somebody's
Consolidated ship now.
What, we're gonna have a race out here this weekend, 14.
I want to for the board.
There's 16 of them.
16 do Drake's.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be good.
I think that's probably what it's talking about.
Oh, good, then that's pretty recent.
But I don't have.
I'm sorry, Tom.
I don't know where to look in my archive. I'm gonna call Eric if I have to.
I don't know where, I've never seen that.
No, I was in
And there was a time when Lamar Sprinkles did a survey, and wasn't there a flood survey in connection to that too?
Yeah.
I've got a
That's been a
monitoring
while
report where
ago.
the creek's been monitored. There were some established points and they monitored it for probably a year. Let's see, 3 or 4 different months of recording.
Well, we'll see what we can find.
I'll get to the end of it myself with Jerry
Yeah,
and
we'll-
see.
we'll check
So it's
in.
either Duray-
But there wasn't any
Satisfied.
Yeah, that's, I think it must be that. And I'll look, I've got several files stashed away up there, so I'll look in that.
Well, if he's looking at an invoice of some
Yeah,
sort, he
it's
should have a
something.
project number,
Yeah.
so if he relays that to me.
That would be good.
But anyway, that's
We could do
not
that.
reconciled yet, but we're still working on it. I think that's all I've got.
Did he say how soon he?
No, he did not. He didn't, we called the email, he didn't give us a deadline on it or say he was holding anything up, he just didn't have a copy of his file. And right now, I can't say I've got one myself, because I don't really know what I'm looking for yet.
We'll try to find one and see what information we can furnish with that.
That's it. Any questions, anybody?
What's your date that you set to finish the project?
Dennis just told me contract the thing's before the end of July, so we'll see how that goes.
Depending on the schedule together,
Right. It was a 120-day contract time, and did 65 or 7 days on phase 1, but it had a little bit of weather days in there as well, so now they're starting to, they're on schedule, or maybe even a little ahead of schedule at this point.
Yeah, done a good job.
I think so, so far.
Thanks, Jimmy,
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Thank you.
Bring us up to date on the project.
Yes, you have a question right here. Do they know where to put those cars? Do they don't run over the lights out there?
They'll be coming this way.
What are you gonna do with them? What are you gonna do with
I don't know, I was hoping they were bringing my new Corvette, but I don't know.
It's an airplane.
A plane load of people coming in tomorrow, and they're delivering 16 cars out here to accommodate them.
Wow.
Some cars.
Guess everybody's driving themselves.
That's a nice portion of tail
They
end.
come here on one plane.
say, who gets to
Okay, let's look at agenda item number 7, kiosk report. Tommy, we appreciate the work you've done on this project, and I know you're happy to,
We're doing the final tweaks. I've got a sort of a, how it's going to look. These mountains will be green. This will all be laser cut wood. And if you've been out to the new chamber building, that's sort of what they've done. And they'll have Tor make it NC with the screen. Then they'll have Franklin Islands and Lake Nantahala, because those are 3 tourism authorities in the county. And they have an EDC logo. Also, we're looking at putting the speaker in the ceiling so it comes directly down when you're listening to it, so it doesn't spread out too much. So, I'm trying to get it up and running by July 1. So, knock on wood. Bo Bryant has, I got Bo to help me with the decorations, since I have no decorating now. And Eric Hall at Integrated Installations doing some tweaking and cleaning up some wires and stuff. So I think it's going to look real good. We got a new table coming in that'll be below it for brochures and stuff. And it'll also have a little food court box where nobody can get into the portable computer in the back. So we should be up and running about 4.
good. Sounds great.
We're trying to accommodate.
I'm sure you'll get a lot of attention when you get it running.
I think it'll run continuous when it runs up. So.
Thanks, Tommy, for a good job. I know it's been
As long as the internet.
stressful for you and frustrating to say the least, but we appreciate you hanging in there and your tenacity to get it done.
As long as the internet runs, it'll work. Okay.
Well, it may be down a little bit, well, every once in a while.
Just kidding.
Okay, thanks again, Tom, appreciate it. Maintenance report, Mr. Haycock, would you address that?
Which one's that?
That's
Number 8.
number 8.
Oh, maintenance?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing we've done here that we sent, one of the county commissioners, Mr. Carl, and, I just got back from vacation, so I don't know how many of these things have been done on the maintenance side, but we had, some.
I've got a list here of the things that needs to be done. Like, oh, I ain't got enough for it.
We'll share, then I'll get the,
Yeah, this is the same.
The AWAS actually is fixed, so I know it is because I could get
Yeah.
15 miles out, so it's okay. But that's a list of the things that's, the gate's not working,
We've got about 4 more things that we put on that list, Carl.
then what you give Carl.
Yeah, all these are on there. We had the tree on, additional tree here, the split in the middle needs to come down. Also had some of the leak in the roof is still leaking over Neil's office, so that was on there.
And the water companies.
And the ballast in there, that's a county, all these are mainly county functions right now if they can get to them. And that's where we stand right now. I don't know where they stand on doing those right now. Has any of the county employees been in here since I left? Nobody.
Does the county do the gate too?
Okay. That's one thing they can do well. In fact. Isn't that right, Neil? The gate out here?
Kenneth fixed it the last time it malfunctioned.
He's got the boards and everything. So other than that, we're getting a little behind on our growth again this year, so, especially out here on the runway. This area down here, as soon as we enact probably next month, we probably need to get at least, if I can get Tebow, who does the mowing out here for the hay, if he'll clear that down there, he's got the equipment to do that. We need to go ahead and get that done before it gets back into wetlands out there. So that's something that's going to be done pretty soon. So if I can't get him, we may, if the county can do it, we need to contract somebody to come down and do it.
It'll have to be a tractor with an arm on it, won't it?
Well, not so much out here. I don't even know if you can put bush hog right now out there, but there's trees in there.
Really?
Yeah.
We need to get ahead of that.
Yeah,
They grow up before you know it.
I mean, it's, when you look out here across the runway in the wintertime, you don't see it. And then once spring hits, everything flourishes. So, anyway,
It'll actually start growing into our fence every now.
yeah, we're gonna have to work on that fence this year. Either county puts Roundup on it. I need to walk around it one more time to see and to designate the areas that need to be really worked on. We got some extra money for maintenance this year, so we can contract somebody to come in to do it.
Don't we need to round up around all these lights, these new lights we're putting in, keep these mowers from mowing over top of them?
The county, once we get these new ones in, we probably need to, the county does that Roundup now, because they don't like it. Yeah. So that's one of their jobs that they do, because they don't want to knock them over either, but we continually knock them over, so I don't know if there's something else we need to look at.
I haven't seen no Roundup on a while.
Right now, no, I saw some last year, but not enough,
Last year, but not
and
this year.
it's got to be done. So anyway, I wish we could put concrete around it. I wish that was in the specs, wasn't it?
No, they don't typically, the only thing I've seen some airports do, these rubber recycled tire mats you can buy at Lowe's, like you put around a tree.
That'd be a good
Those-
idea.
Some airports have bought, they're not eligible for grant participation, but they're not that
I
expensive.
thought about that, but I just wondered about whose liability that would be, and you know, if they blow off there and get in the engine or something down, you know, you,
I haven't heard of any of them blowing off. They're fairly heavy. I mean, they're about an inch.
I don't
thick.
think they would blow off. You couldn't pour around them because you'd have to get back to that transformer if you ever had to dig down in. The transformer's actually in the ground. So you couldn't pour around them to get, if say a light went out and transformer went out, you'd have to actually dig back down in the ground to get to that.
I don't know if any other airports, what do they normally do?
Round up.
Yeah.
That's a good idea though, Jimmy, about them.
Yeah, I agree with it. I thought about that, and then I got to thinking about it, and I said, well, what
Rocky
kind of
Mountain.
liability would we have on those?
I think Johnston County and Rocky Mountain, I know have done that.
You could get some-
I'll check on that with the company that makes them. I've got the address from Lowe's of where they buy them from. You know, there's several of them out there. They're pretty expensive. We might be able to.
We know we could get a few, maybe 2 or 3 of them and put it on it and see if, I don't think they'd blow off because they have to go past the stem on it.
You could also take the D wires and drive them down the ground and hold them, which give you an extra benefit there. And that would be good to do that. It's make it look better too. As long as the motor don't run over and chop them up. But anyway,
You can't check
well,
into
I'll
that.
check into that.
The only other thing, put a fence all the way around them.
Did we get an order extra lights down there we're missing?
Yes, I think that was brought up too.
That'd be great if we could. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for Pete?
One other thing I meant to tell you, Pete, on that, down there on the end of 7, when down there working on that, they're gonna put a little bit of dirt in on that, where that lip is, so that should take care of that, we've got that problem no
Yeah,
more.
that was a, Jimmy Capps, who does the inspection out here, he said that was a real liability for the airport authority. That had a 3-inch drop off, any plane or something dropped off there, hit the prop or something, it'd be our responsibility to fix the prop. He said he sees it all the time, so protect yourself, get that done, so appreciate that.
Down on the end of 7. Probably very-
Thanks, Pete, for what you've done a lot of work on our maintenance projects down here, and done a lot of it yourself. We appreciate that. You know, we'd like to recommend you get a raise.
Appreciate you double that, Ray.
Also,
You get to Steve Level.
Agenda item number 9, consideration of contractual services, contract engineer. W.K. Dixon has been doing our engineering work for us here for
20 years plus.
20 years, that's right. And personally, I think you've done a great job. I've never had no criticism, as far as I'm concerned, about your company. You've done, always willing to bend over backwards to do things right. We appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You can't
Confidence
beat
in
your
that.
service, as far as I'm concerned. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
So we need to make this legal, I guess, don't we, Joe?
Yeah, it's a it's about to be a 5-year contract, and those were requests for qualifications. Delta and Associates and W.K. Dixon both presented proposals that were disseminated out, and we just need to make a decision on one of those two, get it on the record for the next cycle, which I believe is 5 years.
Okay, Chair, I'll open the floor for a motion.
Any discussion or motion?
Let's get a motion and we'll discuss it if we need to.
I'll make a motion that we stay with them.
Got a second. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. And you're back in business.
I appreciate that. No, seriously, gentlemen, we would appreciate your confidence in us, and that's our goal, is to be a client service consultant. And if you got any questions, concerns, don't ever hesitate to ring us or give us a call, and we'll try to get to the
We don't.
We have a question, we call you.
You're not tired of this, right?
No, heck no, not a bit. That is a requirement every 5 years, so this will come up again here in 5 years, that you have to advertise and solicit consultant services. or FAA. It's part of your grant assurances.
Ought to be for the next board to take care of it.
So, thank you.
All right. Agenda item number 10, consideration of water line agreement. We continue, Councilman, would you elaborate on that, please, sir?
David Phillips with Drake Enterprise, he's the principal pilot, has expressed interest on behalf of Drake in the past to install a water line that would get from the well to their hangar. And we've sketched out the needs of the airport, and he's agreed to have Gary Scott do it up to the specifications. I had originally set it up in such a way as that they would kind of be the owners and responsible parties for the continued maintenance of it, but he looked at it and says, we'll build it up to the specs and we'll get it as it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it would be owned, they would anticipate it to be owned by the airport authority or the property, and that they would not have a continuing obligation for the maintenance on it, but they did they have agreed to put in the different plugs along the way and all, as we had suggested. It came up initially at our meeting in May, but we were 2 men down, and Miles suggested that we table it until we had a full membership, which we do have today. And so they're just wanting to get our thumbs up or our thumbs down on whether they can put the line in.
And it'll have some outlets for.
About 3, I think, or so for each stage going down.
There'll be actual hydrants, yard hydrants.
Do we need a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion.
Let me ask one question, if I may. Assuming, this is a hypothetical question, assuming that we build hangars on this end of our property, is this going to put us in a position where we have to furnish in water as well as?
You're not committing yourself to any future obligation.
Any
You're not
future
really, you're not really furnishing this water. You're agreeing to let them, you're furnishing the water because it's coming from the well.
Right.
But no.
Up to a
no.
point, right?
They're putting it in.
Well, they're putting in the system at their expense. They'll be tapping into our well. But no, you wouldn't be.
I see it just as an asset to the airport authority. Everybody's using the water now, it's just gonna be a lot handier, and I think it's an asset for us to have that down in B-29 or so. I think it's coming in handy on these days. I do.
I would move that we approve council's recommendation on the agreement with Drake, I guess, Drake Enterprises.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded that we approve the council recommendation on this agreement with Drake Enterprises. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Can I ask one question before we, when you say agree with what the council's saying, you're saying that they won't have to maintain it or nothing, they're just gonna, is that correct?
They're going to install it to the specifications as recommended by them. And then after they do that, they would have to maintain, I guess, their section of line maybe coming on their end, but as far as, we don't have to give them an easement as such. They're just going to be a contractor. They're building a water line.
They're just doing the infrastructure
Right.
and giving it to us.
Yes.
Probably need to look at it. So after they finish it,
Oh, yeah.
that's all.
We'd have a right to inspect it.
Is any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Unanimous consent.
I'll contact Mr. Rhodes.
Okay, thanks, Joe, for working on this and getting this prepared for the airport authority. Appreciate it. Other business, so we got the AWAS fixed, I guess. So we appreciate that. I know the pilots appreciate it very much. Anybody else got anything to bring up for the authority? We're doing good.
Yep.
Tommy said, I want out of here. Let's go get a car out of here.
That's right. Get my new car.
There's another one.
Everybody gets a new car.
If there's no other business and all minds are free and clear, well, Chair will entertain a motion that we adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.
There's a car.
So who's